So here it is, Battletoads and Double Dragon, the Ultimate Team on the Sega Genesis. It very much follows the same formula as the previous titles. Here you have a choice between any of the Battletoads and either of the Double Dragon brothers, Billy and Jimmy. Personally, I prefer the Battletoads, so I pick Rash. The first level here is on actually the most of the game. It takes place in outer space, which I thought was odd. But the first level. Now, the graphics here are slightly better than that in the Battletoads version of, or the Sega version of Battletoads. Um, that's not to say they're a whole lot better, but they are slightly improved. Especially the Battletoads themselves look more defined. As does the environment, and the background also is slightly, you know, has some movement going on there too. And the music in this game is kick-ass. It's much better than in the Battletoads version, or in the Sega Genesis version of Battletoads. And again, the finishing moves and everything is here. Um, it's fun and funny at the same time. You know, they're entertaining. Like this here. That's just somewhat. That's just, you know, it's entertaining. It keeps you in the game. So the Battletoads series has always been slightly advanced in its graphics, ranging from the NES. The Sega Genesis title was slightly lacking for its time, but nonetheless, it did look pretty good. And here the graphics are great. You know, the ship, though it's rather plain, it does look good. Everything in this game looks good. The animation, everything flows smoothly, zero lag, nothing of the nature. So this is Battletoads on the Sega Genesis, the Battletoads Double Dragon. It's a great title to add to your Genesis library, and though the difficulty is slightly toned down, that just makes it more playable for people. It's still very fun and gets challenging in the later levels, and it's a great mix between two loved franchises. Even though Double Dragon sort of went down the tube, especially with Double Dragon 5. But this is sort of a resurrection game, and that it is very fun and highly recommended. Another thing you'll notice, no more pause music. That was a Battletoads trait in the first one, and that's been taken out. So overall, great game for the Sega Genesis library. So as you can see, multiple Battletoads titles have been released, ranging from the NES, the Game Gear, to the Super Nintendo, and the Genesis. Multiple titles have been out, and all of them are enjoyable. You'll find familiar things in each one of them, whether it be the enlarging fist when you finish off an enemy, the overall easygoing and comedic feel of the games, and their difficulty level. All the games are difficult, and so if you're looking for an easy fly-by-night game, you're not going to find it here. If you're looking for a game that's going to give you a rough challenge, then go for it. But all things aside, whether you're going to choose the NES version, the Sega version, or another version, you will not be disappointed. Basically, this is one of my favorite franchises in video games, and I would recommend it to anybody looking to have a good time. So this has been Cobra, and thanks for watching my review of Battletoads.